Hey guys, welcome to the UCLA podcast. I'm Judy.
And I'm Simon.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Russell.
And this is, wait.
No, we gotta do that again.
Oh.
You're doing fine, girl.
Yo, I was ready to say it too. Spill the
Yeah,
tea. Yo, I was tense. I was ready.
Okay.
Judy was
Okay,
tossing
everyone
it up
did.
and then she failed to catch it. Like,
Okay,
come on
sorry.
now.
And this
You're
is,
good.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the UCLA podcast. I'm Judy.
I'm Simon.
I'm Alex.
I'm Russell.
And this is
Spill the tea.
As you guys can see, we have two very special guests here. We have our alumni, Alex and Russell. Can you guys introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, Alex, why don't you go first?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, my name's Alexandra. I was the former vice president of membership for UCLA, and I was also the former executive vice president in 2018 through 2019. Currently, I'm working at a company called Nielsen right now as a client delivery analyst. I majored in operations in college, and now I'm back at Baruch, and I'm majoring in business analytics.
Wow. Stacked. How about Russell?
Great. So for me, yeah, when I was part of UCLA, I was the VP of PR to begin with, and then moving on to the executive secretary. And then after my e-board year, I remained within the group as the CLP committee member, one of them.
Still staying committed to UCLA after being on board. But were you guys on e-board like the same year?
No, Alex was the e-board after hours.
I was one of Russell's leaders. It was tragic.
Oh,
Just kidding.
yeah. What happened there? Spill the tea, Alex.
No, I don't have any tea to spill. It was
No,
a
she's
good
just
year.
saying that.
I'm
She
just
says
saying
things
that.
sometimes.
Just bullying Russell.
Oh, and then my bad, I forgot. So occupation, I'm working at a company called Accenture, and my position officially is like something long and fancy. It's like advanced application engineer analyst, but really it boils down to software engineer.
You just do this so Winnie can clap and enter it in. Do this, Russell. Yeah, Winnie, add that.
What does that mean?
Russell's title, because we're making Winnie do extra work on the podcast by editing in the title of your occupation, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the introductions.
Thank you. How does it feel to be back with UCLA on our podcast?
Oh man, I was listening to the podcast early this morning and I was just like listening to Simon and Kenny and like you guys all laugh and just like roast each other and all that kind of stuff. And it made me miss UCLA. I feel like all of us alums, we spend like every Friday night just like reminiscing about all the UCLA memories. So yeah, it makes us miss you guys. So I hope you guys like enjoy every moment of being in UCLA. I miss it for sure.
It's really cool for me too, because I feel like I've been very out of touch with UCLA, especially during the last year, with work getting busy and all, and just life happening. So, and even with just you two, like Simon and Judy, I've never really sat down and talked to you guys. So really cool experience.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you guys? Like the year is ending for you guys.
This is our first year on board.
Yeah, both of us, for the both of us. So it's definitely interesting having it be online as well.
Yeah.
But you guys got to see each other recently.
Recently?
No, I haven't seen Simon.
I haven't seen Judy in mad long until like I just pull up. Like the last time I just pull up to see Judy was in like Staten Island, and I was still in the car. I just like say hi to her.
Yeah,
but
and I was on the porch.
Yeah, she just said hi to me. But yeah.
Oh, because there was like a birthday party that happened recently.
Yeah, it was for Justin and I's birthdays. Since both of our birthdays were in early April, but then we got busy and Baruch celebrated API Heritage Month in April instead, so we just had a lot of things to do then. So that party was like a great way to just get together and relax. End of April, still being very of coronavirus guidelines, spraying down, being safe, all that jazz.
Didn't Tina also make like a birthday song for you guys?
A birthday.
Let's hear it.
What? Al, who is the messenger bird here? Like, how is this getting?
No, because I helped Tina make the song. At like 5 a.m.
Wow.
So it was very sweet. Tina made like a song, a personalized song compiled from leaders for Justin and I. Mine was
sing it.
Mine was like a parody on WAP. So
How fitting.
Cute.
Yeah. So I can't play it because I promised them not to reveal it, but it was very sweet. It was I think it was along the line of what Alex said. Like you hang out with your friends on like Fridays, and like those friendship blossom out of UCLA, and it's natural to like kind of feel out of touch how Russell feels. But I feel like it's a little bit natural, but you still have those friends that you like grew together, still being friends and chilling with them at Fridays, and for that party like that will be like a forever memory of mine. And afterwards we still gonna be friends, next e-board. I feel like not trying to speak for Judy, but I'm personally very excited and not anxious or like fearful at all. I'm more looking forward to the future and be in person again. How do you feel, Judy?
I feel the exact same way. Like UCLA, like even though everything has been online, being a part of UCLA has been our medium to connect to everyone else. So yeah, it's gonna be even better next year since we've had this experience, and we'll see how like our experience being online translates to being in person. So we'll see how that goes. But today it's a Friday night. It's late. It's like 9:30. Were you guys at work earlier today?
Funny enough, so like we were all co-working together.
Co-working.
Co-working as don't tell our bosses, but anyways, so it was around like 1:30 to 5. It was like me, Russell, Lewis, Arvis, and Lynn. We were all on Zoom and we were all working together. So that's like our way of bonding.
So
While
you
we're
guys
all
keep each
working.
other accountable, or y'all just messing around?
Yeah,
I would say it's mostly messing around.
If I
No,
really need
it's-
to work, I will mute everyone on Zoom and actually get some work done. But if not, I'll just start talking.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm also less productive during those calls, but I'm there for the vibes.
But right now, like for you guys, is this situation like complete virtual, or how is it?
Yeah, completely virtual. I don't even know when I'll be back, to be honest.
I have no idea when I'm going to be back either. I started in person for like 4 days and then went off virtual. But Russell has like an interesting experience with him too.
Yeah, I started online. It was a very interesting onboarding experience, and definitely it wasn't as interactive, I guess, as an in-person experience. For example, my company, we were all supposed to get flown out to a different state and go through like a training/bonding experience with the coworkers. But still, they did what they can given the circumstances, and it's been pretty smooth from there.
So with everything being online, do you guys feel like it's difficult to like stay focused because your workspace and your home space is basically the same vicinity, or do you guys not have trouble with that?
Yeah, for me, I feel like I don't have any trouble. So oftentimes I hear people do have trouble, that they get distracted so easily. But for me, I feel like I have the willpower to, be in the same room that I usually chill in, but also put on my thinking cap and just like really focus. I guess especially in my profession, because I'm coding most of the day, right? And it's so easy for me to get in the zone for that. It's like constantly trying to solve different puzzles, and I don't really have the capacity to think of anything else. And not just that, but I feel like I've built up that sort of skill to not get distracted. So for me, it's been okay.
I think for me, I've kind of had a different experience. So like I started in March 2020, and for the first week I started in person, and then the week after we all went into quarantine. And actually,
yikes.
Yeah. So I got a chance to like meet with my team. I had a lunch with the team, got to meet everyone, which was awesome. And then the week after we all went into quarantine, and I didn't know that I was going to like stay there. And that was also the week that my dad got COVID, and he tested positive for COVID that week. So I was in my room like 23 hours of the day because I can't leave my room because, like there's COVID out there. So I was in my room for like a really long time. It was hard for me to stay concentrated, especially with like that situation going on. But overall, it was challenging, but then you kind of get used to it. I think especially as you have more work like that has to be done, you get more stressed. And you just like have to focus. So yeah, it started off challenging at first, but then you just like eventually get used to it.
Yeah, I guess that kind of reminds me of another thing. It's being remote, you sort of feel a bit more obligated to work more hours.
That's true.
Considering that your work environment is so accessible to you. So it could be more stressful in that aspect.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like with class being online, I feel like I'm only doing work. Like I'm constantly doing work. It's just Simon's like, I'm not.
I'm
A
yeah,
lazy
I'm
panda.
like, yeah, a lazy fan. I'm like Russell is in a hyper focused mode, and Judy's over there doing work. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? The bed's right there. The bed is right there. Just roll over and rest. You know what I mean? For me, I kind of feel like being at home is like it's torture to me. Like I kind of feel like I need to remove myself. I need to commute to school and put myself in an environment to learn. You know, or like going to work. But if the bed is right there, I feel like it's more tempting to me just to roll over, you know, take a rest, not be focused. But I definitely agree with Alexandra that at the beginning of quarantine, it was tough being like isolated and just having to be alone in your room. But it gets easier, and definitely everybody transitioning to an online environment, having Zoom. Yo, the owner of Zoom, he making bank. He made bank. And Discord, you know, a little bit what Judy said, just being on board this year. I'm really grateful to have, you know, our board with us and just being friends. Yeah, got really close to them as well. And also you guys coming on tonight, just really appreciate the alumni coming back and chilling with the younglings here. You know, dropping
Yeah,
you
I
guys
bet you
dropping
guys
wisdom
are
with us,
tired.
right?
Okay.
Oh no, we're chilling. I mean, we do our Friday night late talks and we talk till like 3 a.m.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was
this is
feeling,
like
it's not,
regular time for us.
but yeah, really appreciate you guys. Just probably have something to do in the evening, and then we talk to us. But yeah.
Yeah, but usually since you guys are working and resting like in the same space, there's no transition point between, right? Like there's no commute or anything like that. So how do you guys like take the opportunity to fully relax and unwind after a long week of work?
Oh, I love it. I love it because I used to, well, at my old job at least, before I started my current job, I used to have to travel like 50 minutes there and back by train, and like, walking to the station and then just feeling trapped in the train. And that whole process, I'm sure you guys know from just commuting to school, it was so draining. But now having all this extra time, I could be a lot more productive. You said, how does it help me relax? For me, it's kind of oxymoronic in a way, because what I do with my extra time is not really relax, but try to take on productive habits like work out or study this part of coding or learn something new, right? But then by the end of the day, it helps me feel like I got a lot more done. And that's what helps me sleep at night.
That is very
He's just
admirable.
productive. Exactly. I'm just I'm
I'm just-
cool. Don't productivity. Don't know her. Russell, what is
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do get really lazy sometimes. In fact, almost more often than not on a lot of days, but that is my goal. I try to be productive.
I'm the complete opposite of him. No, actually, no. I'm doing masters right now, so it's just like I don't get a break because I would
true.
work. Yeah, I would work from 9 to 5, and then I'd have class from 6 to 9. So your girl's not getting a break over here. But trying to relax, that's pretty hard. It's very tempting for you to not check your work emails. I have my work emails on my phone, so whenever I get a
you just want to shut
notification, I'm
down?
like just like very tempted to look at it. But I try to like take on different hobbies that like make me feel like relax or make me like get out of that work or school zone. So like I learned how to play the guitar during quarantine. Music is like a big hobby for me. Even just like getting on a phone call with someone from UCLA for like an hour or two, like that helps me like break that cycle. So that's what I do.
I'm having trouble transitioning to the next point. But yeah, me and Simon are really curious about how you guys feel like your major relates to your current work. Like, do you feel as though your major prepared you well for your current job? Or do you feel like when you started your job, you were just diving headfirst with like no prior knowledge and it's just cold water?
Yeah. For me, my major had almost nothing to do. I kind of want to say 0% with what I'm doing right now, because I was a CIS major, and keeping in mind that I was specifically on the cybersecurity track, that's what I graduated with. But I'm doing nothing related to cybersecurity, and within CIS. Oh, okay, I guess I learned some like web development, web design stuff, and I'm mostly building websites right now for work.
Yeah, at least some aspect of it will.
There's some aspects, but there's
diploma wise, just it don't count.
that's very true. The diploma is good, but in terms of actual skills that I'm using day to day, like pretty much
right.
a very small percentage. What did help a lot was the coding bootcamp I went to after college. That was very practical, very technical, and very helpful for what I'm doing now.
So what about the process of you getting hired? Like, were you hesitant about the job because you felt like your skills didn't match up with what they were looking for? Or, did you fluff up the resume? Like, you got some advice to give us?
I think my bootcamp that I went to prepared me so well that I felt pretty confident in how I was presenting myself. I didn't feel like I was lying. And that's kind of what helped me a lot. I didn't feel like I was being an imposter. And it's a lot more concrete in software development because like these are the skills. It's whether I know them or not, if I've practiced them or not. And personally, I know that I could do them. So it was fine for me.
Confidence.
You guys should go to Russell's website. He has Tetris on it. He like coded his own version of Tetris and it's on his website. It's pretty fun.
So you can play Tetris at the same time as you're viewing his website?
Yes.
That's cool.
Winnie.
Alex, what about your major? Winnie, plug the web right here. Oh, you guys can find it in the link below. But Alex, what about you? Did your major help you? And what did you do to get hired?
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I had no idea what I was doing in college. I majored in ops, but like to be honest, I didn't know why I did. I didn't really have any sense of direction. It wasn't until my last semester that it wasn't until my last internship. I did an internship with Amazon during my last semester that I realized that I want to get into data, which is why I'm doing data as a master's right now. But yeah, in college, I honestly had like no direction of where I want to go, but I'm glad I didn't because now I'm happy with where I am. So.
But what made you interested in data?
I think. So I entered in Amazon and just seeing like the different roles that they have there. And a lot of them were very like data driven heavy. And just like Amazon, they would always talk about all the time, like how big data is, how much data there is out there, the possibilities with data. So that's why I decided to like go with that route after college.
Just try to
Well,
expand.
prior to graduating, like, were you really anxious about what your future was going to look like because you weren't completely confident in your major?
Oh yeah, like applying to jobs after college is tough. Anyone could tell you that. I think applying to internships and applying to college is like a completely different like game. I think for applying to internships, like I would be lucky to get like 1 or 2 like responses for internships like once a week. And then for when I was applying to jobs, like I just didn't hear back.
Right.
It's so much more scary. I don't know if Russell, like if you've had the same experience, but applying to jobs, like not to scare you guys, but applying to jobs after college is like so much more trickier.
No, I definitely hear that from a lot of like graduates. Like when they just enter the workforce, they're like, oh, it's hard to immediately transition into like a full-time job. But facing those challenges, I feel like it's a part of just a part of the journey. Or Russell,
Yeah.
What about your experience?
Yeah, super relatable. What Alex said about internships too. Like looking back, I feel really grateful that I had some sort of internship every summer, right? Mm-hmm. And like the first 2 summers, it was because of Ladders for Leaders, specifically Pencil. But yeah, post-college, it's pretty crazy. Like my bootcamp, they had us applying to 40 jobs per week, which I'm sure to a lot of other people, it's not as many. They may be applying to much more. But for me, that goal of 40 per week, super stressful and really draining. And I think in the end, like by the time I accepted my first offer, I had applied to like 200 something, but had maybe like 5 on-sites and maybe like 10 first round phone screens, So pretty discouraging numbers, but it's like you will always hear, it's a numbers game. You just need like 1 offer and hopefully to the place you want to be at.
Mine was different too. So I applied to maybe like 200 jobs. Like during my last semester, I graduated January 2020. I applied to like maybe 200 jobs. I had 2 phone interviews and then I had like 1 on-site. And I think Nielsen was like my first interview and I actually got the job. So I got really lucky in that sense.
Wait, what? It was your first interview?
It was my first full-time interview.
Wow. Out of how many have you had?
Out of all the full-time interviews, like 0. I mean, no. I think Nielsen was like my one and only full-time company that I interviewed for.
Wow. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I got lucky in the sense that I got my job like right before the pandemic. I felt so bad for like so many people that graduated at the end of 2020, like with, you know,
Girl,
it's
you
so
secured
challenging
your
to get a
bag.
job
You
at that
secured
time.
your bag. Be happy for
I got the
yourself.
bag. I got the
Pat on the
bag.
back. Don't worry about them. You succeeded during this hardful time.
How's
Hard time.
internship hunting for you guys?
Who's internship?
Right now,
Non-existent.
there's like a shortage of internships because actually
Oh,
I'm part of
no.
Lattice for Leaders too. And like there's very few opportunities being sent out right now and they're not really matching a lot of people. And for whatever reason, like some companies just don't get back to you. So yeah, I'm kind of
Even ladders, even if
Yeah.
you apply for ladders for leaders, you don't secure you know, if they get
Yeah.
back to you, shouldn't it automatically secure a spot?
No, like when they reach out to you with an opportunity, you have to like express your interest and then they schedule an interview. But like even if you express your interest, they still might not get back to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving you a little taste of the real world, you know, not replying to you at all.
Yeah.
I wonder if
But-
it's the case, like every year, does it get more and more competitive? Like, is there more demand and supply for jobs, internships?
During the summer?
Yeah,
during the summer,
sure.
or it has been like going up, but like definitely during the pandemic, like there's a whole, I don't know, like how safe is it with like the vaccine rollout during the summer? Like obviously they wouldn't want a workforce and having, you know, children's not children, I'm sorry. Judy over here. But yeah, having like adolescents going out and work.
Mhm.
But there's still a lot of opportunities during the summer. I feel like aren't they opening New York in fully opening New York in late May?
July 1st, yeah.
July 1st? Well, same thing, but that is I feel like that's early.
I guess I kind of asked that because like at least during when I was in Baruch, I felt like every year, at least it seemed this way, that there would always be more and more students, you know, like the population's always growing. And I'm just wondering if like the job openings would like match that growth, or would it like just be more competitive each and every year that goes by?
I think right now with the pandemic, like obviously there aren't a lot of job openings, right? Like a lot of businesses can't afford to hire anyone. So yeah, for us students who are looking, it's just kind of,
Yeah.
all right, it's part of the grind.
Mhm.
I was really surprised to hear the 200 plus number. I was like, what?
It's honestly not that bad.
I was
Once you
gonna say
start,
that.
yeah, it's not that bad. Once you start applying to jobs on LinkedIn, like if you do like 2 a day, it'll gradually grow to like 3 a day, 4 a day, 10 a day. You just like, it became my hobby, just applying to jobs on LinkedIn. Yeah, so.
That's the way, you know, Alex's life had become. Yeah, it's my hobby is to apply to jobs. So,
You get so used to it though. It's just like something you do in your spare time. Like I did it so frequently that whenever I was bored, I just applied to jobs.
like I'm fortunate enough to like I don't need to like job hunt and need a salary. But I'm just try to finish the schooling. You know what I mean? I feel like definitely mental health and like the pandemic and, you know, college students try to hang in there, especially as the end of semester is definitely very important. But Judy, what were you gonna ask? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, like the fact that you guys are applying to so many jobs in one day, like there kind of needs to be a sense of detachment, right? Like, because if you were hopeful about every single job opportunity and invested in every like potential job, then like applying to so many a day would be really exhausting, right? So the fact that you only that you applied to like 2 or more a day, it's kind of just like
Discouraging.
try this out. Like, is that the attitude?
I think it's something similar for that for me. So I applied to so many jobs that I forgot what I applied to. So whenever I heard back, I was like, oh, I applied to that. And they got back to me. That's awesome.
It was kind of different for me. I knew most of the jobs that I applied to, mostly because I try to customize as much as I can for each application, specifically within
I
the
did not
cover
do that.
letters. I really tried to cater to each company that I applied to, you know, look at their website, see what their values are, what their culture is like, and incorporate that.
Very respectable.
That way you also do a little like your own little research on the company as well. I feel like that's a great way to, you know, definitely customize your resume for that company.
Yeah, it makes the job hunt a lot more time consuming and just energy draining to have to like customize each cover letter, for example. But hopefully it makes the difference.
Alex is like send my PDF.
Like dollar bills.
But
No, I was just like, I did not do that. I did not do any research. I just applied to whatever. And if they got back to me, they got back to me. And if I liked it, I would go for the interview. And if they didn't, then I just like ghost them. I just kind of
Ghost them.
I feel like we have like a yin and yang situation here, like the extreme on the spectrum.
Yeah, I was pretty aggressive on like all fronts. Like for example, not just that, but I would also try to cold reach out to people as much as I can. Like I installed this extension for Gmail. It's called Clearbit, and what you could do is you could search for the company, and then you could see like the email addresses of the employees that work there. And
Wait, that's kind of
hopefully,
creepy.
I was just, I'm like, whoa.
it's completely legal.
Okay.
It's
Sounds like you
legal.
need the info, but like, damn, Russell, you going that extensive?
Yeah.
Before you even meet the interviewer, you know their name, their birthday, their email
Yeah.
address, how many kids they got. Like,
If
damn,
they
Russell.
single.
No, it wasn't
They single.
that deep. It wasn't that deep. I just try to look for the HR people or like anyone related to tech and then express my interest, you know.
Wait, so Russell, I don't have to ask you for your central email. I could just find it online.
So you
You-
said
you-
Clearbit, right?
maybe.
Clearbit.
Yeah, take a note of that. It's really helpful if you
Okay,
want to
Queenie?
network.
Stocky too.
Yeah, so you guys seem to have like two really opposite approaches to the job search process. But in connection to that, like what were you looking for? Like it seems like Russell, when you were applying, you were like, were you looking for certain things in a company that compelled you to apply?
Yes, and no. There were definitely like things that would appeal to me, and I guess I did have goals. Like, for example, I really wanted to work in companies that were very personal, that help people in a more personal way, such as anything related with health, like something like health insurance, or like. Oh, there was one that helped provide healthy food diets for people, like one of those, you know, Blue Apron type of companies. But to be honest, I was just looking for my first opportunity at that point because I hardly had any programming experience, you know, professionally. And I just really wanted some type of experience to leverage and to really like, basically I was very receptive to anything so that I could build from there.
Gotta start
Yeah,
somewhere.
same for me. Very receptive to anything. It's so hard to get your first job, let alone get like your dream job as your first job. So I was just looking for anything to like get my first foot in.
Mm.
And she fished up a Nelson. She went her first one Nelson. But yeah.
But
At first he said Nelson. I was like, Nelson Cow? I was like, what are you talking about?
That's what I thought you meant. Wait, who do you mean?
No, he meant Nielsen.
Oh, my bad. Nielsen. My bad.
Oh, you work at Nelson, Alex?
Yeah,
Oh my
Nelson.
gosh. Hi, Nelson.
All
if you're
right,
listening to this.
Winnie, you might have to alter my audio for that. We're gonna cut this. Nielsen, use this audio. We're just gonna have
Wait, can she do that?
no. And she fished up a Nielsen. She went her first one Nielsen. This is just us and behind the scenes of Winnie needing to cut out parts of us making fun of.
Imagine she keeps it in.
No, she definitely gonna keep it in. That's the
Yeah.
fun of it. We keep it in. What do you mean,
Nice.
Russell? We keep it in.
But in retrospect, like now that you guys have secured your job, do you feel like there's anything that you could have done to be more prepared for the job search process, or any advice that you can give to undergraduates like us?
Definitely, if you're applying to Nielsen, pronounce Nielsen right. No.
Nielsen. I'll give advice, but then Russell's gonna be like, this is terrible advice.
And I'll give the complete opposite.
I feel like Russell's just sitting there waiting for Alex's advice, so he can plot up a one that's completely
Opposite.
opposite. Yeah.
Yes, go for it, Alex.
No, I can imagine what Russell's gonna say. He's gonna say something like, look at the company culture, like reach out to people, cold call people, and find a job that you're passionate about. Find people that you're gonna work with that are passionate about the job. But mine is just like, just apply. just apply to
experience.
Just apply to anything and everything, because you never know like what opportunities will land on your shoulders if you just apply to anything. Even if you're not qualified for the job, like let's say they want someone with like a 4.0 GPA, like still apply for it. You never know. Or like when I applied for Amazon, I didn't think I was gonna get it, but like who knows? Just like apply, and also apply really early. Like, so for what I did when I was doing my whole-time job hunt, I would go on LinkedIn and I'd look at the jobs that just came out within the last 24 hours. And then I just apply to those right away. I didn't tailor my cover letter like Russell did for every single one of them. I just did a simple copy and paste.
Imagine it had like another company name on it.
I've done that.
I think we've all
Russell,
done
you were
that before.
customizing.
Yeah, you're
This was
lying.
like for an internship, like before the year I really started trying. Yeah, I've definitely done that.
No, it was after that moment. He was so embarrassed that he never made it.
I was pretty sad. I don't think I would have gotten the job anyway, but that definitely didn't help.
You're gonna hear so many alums say that it took them like 200 or 300 job applications in order for you to get a full-time. So
Right.
Yep.
just apply a lot. Like the chances of you hearing back is like 5%. So apply to as many as you can.
Just keep
I think that percentage is really accurate for me, at least. I was gonna give some advice. Yeah.
Can I mention his water really quick? Like, did no one see how big that was? Can you please?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah, this.
Spill the water.
Oh,
Ew.
I don't know why. Like, it looked so big previously. I was like, what?
Yeah, this was actually a gift. It was given to me by Fiona. So if you're watching, Fiona, thank you. I use this
shout
every
out to
day.
Fiona.
Stay hydrated, y'all.
That's
Stay
so
hydrated.
cute.
Yeah, it has lines, so by
Uh-huh.
9 a.m. you should drink this
What is
much.
it? Red? Is it flowers or strawberries? What is that near?
Yeah, those are flowers.
Flowers. Oh,
Yeah.
that
So
says
cute.
Fiona all over it. I love it.
Yeah, I really like it. But back to the question.
You were supposed to reply with something completely opposite, Alex.
Yeah,
That is true.
no. What was it? You guys are making me lose track. Yeah.
I was just supposed to say, you better blame Judy's water bottle.
Whoops, sorry.
It's okay. I was gonna say network, like not just talking to people, expecting a job, hoping that they hand you one, but just being really comfortable talking to strangers. I think that's super important, especially as you get into interviews. You want to be like in the flow of being able to talk to people. You don't want to be at a loss for words or stammering when you're at an interview that you really care about. And plus, it could be fun. A lot of people see it as a chore, like I have to do this to get a job. But it could be fun, and you might meet people that you end up maintaining like a meaningful connection with. So definitely network.
I did not network.
See, you got
I didn't
out.
call either.
Not do anything.
I mean, in the end, I
Not
didn't
too
get a
many.
job out of networking per se, but I would say it helped my interview skills.
Right. I definitely feel like what Russell said, like being comfortable with just talking to people, either like at a coffee, which I haven't done yet, because of a Penduce, that hit, and we can't be having coffee chats. But just being more comfortable with talking to people, definitely is very important. And I think a lot of alumni and a lot of like we go to events, they're like network. You just constantly don't stop hearing that at Baruch.
Mhm.
But yeah, Alex, you want to come at me or something? You were gonna say something?
Oh no! What was the word that you said? You said pandemic.
she is
Yeah, I don't know
always
how you
got
got
your
that, by the way.
Penduce.
And do say no,
What
because I
language
saw
is that?
people on TikTok. I saw people on TikTok call the pandemic a pandemic Lovato, and I was like, I'm stealing that.
Demi Lovato.
Alright, the classic panorama.
Okay, we're not gonna start this pun. All right. No,
Okay.
I was about to do a pandemic pun, but not
Do it.
pandemic.
A panini.
Judy, that was so disappointing. Oh, that was the pun. Oh,
I liked it.
pandemic. Thank you, Russell.
Winnie?
You're welcome.
Pandemic.
Wait, so whenever you do that, does she like edit words?
Oh yeah, keep clapping, Russell. Keep clapping. Every single time you clap, it's a just a magic happens. So there's gonna be so many edits for Winnie, which is
It's kind of like SpongeBob with like the rainbows. It's like-
Yep. As you're doing it right now, it's being edited in there. You too, Alex.
Yeah. Let's do it all at the same time. Winnie?
Winnie can.
Okay.
Winnie.
1, 2, 3.
Imagination.
Oh.
Imagination. Which just couldn't work for her.
And then she's not gonna add it. So in the video, we're just gonna.
Oh, you're gonna look stupid. You looking like windshield wipers.
Actually, you
What
know,
if she keeps this? What if this is on YouTube?
Oh,
It's gonna
if not,
be.
we're gonna make you into a GIF of you just.
The funny part is, like, you know how it's in gallery view, right? So how, like, everyone, like, where you are on gallery view is different for everyone. So sometimes when I'm talking, I'll like gesture to somebody, like, but then it's pointing to somebody else, or like I'm at the corner,
It's like
so I'm pointing
awkward.
to nothing.
You know? I did that once, like to Judy, and it was like Kenny or someone.
Or it's just
Yeah.
black. But yeah, like when you guys were in college, is there anything that you found memorable about your experience, not including the academic aspects, but just like extracurriculars, UCLA, or anything else that made your experience more fulfilling?
No, I didn't remember any of it. I'm just kidding. I have to think. I think the most memorable part for me was Lunar New Year 2019. I was vice president at that time, and whenever I look back at that time, I think about all the hard work that our leaders put into that event. It was definitely a struggle, but we all, like, everyone worked so hard. I'll never forget like everyone's dedication towards that event, and everyone staying up to like 3 a.m. to plan the marketing or do the graphics or like planning how we're gonna serve food or how we're gonna make this event better than Moon Festival. It was just like all of that, and like everyone just like feeling like the pressure and the weight lifted off their shoulders after the event was over. That was just like the best feeling. I remember like we were all in the club room like right after the event ended, and everyone just like screamed, and we're just like clapping and so happy for each other. So that's my favorite moment from Baruch.
I'm very much the same way. Like I can't think of any other answer except UCLA. Just like super grateful, just everyone I've met there, who I still talk to today, and still keep in touch with. I don't have like more of an answer. It's basically the same thing. Just having struggled with the people that I've developed bonds with strengthens the bonds, and it's very meaningful.
You struggle together, you grow together. I'm talking about Russell. But I kind of feel like your guys' experience, like obviously during that time it was in person, and now it's like this is Judy and I's first year on board, and it's our like first different year. Social as VP of membership, Alex probably like socials are much more different. Those will be in person. We go to restaurants and stuff like that, and now we got to do it online. I kind of like to have that same feeling of like it feels very rewarding after like a CLP or GIM or social, and Judy can back me up on this. Like in a chat, it was like, "Good job, oh, you guys did it. We finally
That's
did
so
it."
wholesome.
I'm just like, thank you, But yeah, again, like similar experiences. Just really grateful for this year's board. And then, although it's online, and we're doing things differently, the feelings of the family feeling is the same through the generations. So that's happy to hear.
I still feel like your group like got so much closer than most other leaders do, because you guys are available like 24/7 to talk to each other, and you guys like you can sleep and you can wake up whenever you want because you guys don't have like those obligations anymore. So you guys could like stay up till 5 a.m. on like a Saturday night and just like talk your hearts out and have like those meaningful conversations that we weren't able to do as leaders. So I think you guys have like even though it was online, I feel like you guys still had a stronger bond than like a lot of other generations did.
Sometimes I don't give you an excuse to slack off, because like you're not answering to me. You haven't answered me in 4 hours. I know you're on your phone. I know you're on your. Where can you be? You're at home. Where can you be? The bathroom, the kitchen. You know what I mean?
No, I did that to my leaders too. Like they wouldn't respond for like 12 hours, and I'm just like, you're in the club room right now. I see you. Like answer your message.
Alex, like, I just saw you. I saw you during.
I saw you
on your phone.
I saw you on your phone, and you still haven't responded to my message, and it's been 12 hours. Like,
imagine you seeing someone looking at your message and ignoring
and
you.
they just swipe it.
Right? That's good.
Oh my gosh, throwbacks.
This is kind of a random question, but like, do you guys feel that you're like an introvert or extrovert, and how did that kind of play into your experience at UCLA?
I'm pretty introverted. I guess there are periods in my life.
Russell.
Huh?
We couldn't tell, Russell.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I still try to be open, but oh, is that sarcastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be more open. There are some days where like I'd much rather be outside talking to people, but naturally introverted. What's the other part? Like, how did that affect me at UCLA?
Yeah, like, do you feel like being a part of UCLA made you feel like, more willing to come out of your shell, or
had to help you like step out of your comfort zone?
Yeah, socialize more, network.
Yeah.
You try to use the word.
Yeah, I think like just me knowing that I was more introverted, but wanting to improve at still being open. Yeah, like I definitely tried harder being at UCLA to like talk to people and be initiative and communicative, stuff like that.
I think I'm a halfie. Like, I think I'm half an introvert and half an extrovert. Like, there are times where I could be very introverted, and there are times I could be like very, very extroverted. But I think when it comes to UCLA, my extrovertedness comes out. I think because I made such good relationships in UCLA, like because like actually to scratch that. So prior in high school, I think I was very quiet, but then when I started to like develop those bonds in UCLA, it made me want to be more of an extroverted person. So which is why I took on membership, because I like love talking to people and love getting to know people. So I think UCLA helped me get my extrovertedness out of me, and it's been out ever since.
Hmm.
Having the like what Russell said before, being more comfortable talking to people. So made you came out your shell.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we're not framing it in a way that being introverted is bad, because I guess for both
Oh
of
yeah,
us, we kind
true.
of talked
Oh
about it
yeah.
like, we tried to be more open, we tried to be more extroverted, but
Mhm.
reality is everyone's different. It's not,
Right.
we're not better or worse. We're different, and we have different skill sets and different strengths, and we should focus on them.
Right.
Mhm.
And like sometimes I can seem like I'm an extrovert, but like it's my social battery is really, I don't know about you guys, my social battery is really low. Like I'll be really high energy, be in a moment, and then by the end of the night I'm like, leave me alone, I don't want to talk. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
rest after this. I got replenish, in a way. But totally agree with Russell. Sometimes I feel like you just have to have that balance. If you go to UCLA, of course you got to turn that energy,
Mhm.
especially
Mhm.
being VP of membership. I know how it feels, Alex. You got to turn up that energy. But then afterwards you got to go chill and relax, and
Mhm.
just be by yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that was a challenge with membership too, because like of course as VP of membership you have to bring the energy, but it also or like it also like the other people play a factor on it too, like your conversations with other people. If they're not bringing that energy back, then you're just like, why am I bringing in like such a big energy to the conversation? So yeah.
To like which, but like sometimes but it's like a very low percentage of chance when you meet someone they're just like really, and you don't really vibe with them. Like sometimes like it's very wholesome where like I will meet someone, and like even it's an online semester and we know we're talking through Zoom, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to see you in person, or like just so like I just get really like happy that I met some of the, and like some members coming back and seeing us again, or like falling in love with UCLA, and never been to UCLA, and they never like met us in person. They're vibing with us. So yeah, I definitely feel that when we're resuming in person. What are your guys' expectation of like going back to work, or or even Alex as a graduate student coming back to Baruch campus? Are you planning on to?
I'm taking fully online classes next semester.
Oh,
But
Mm.
I don't know what my experience would be like if I do go back in person. Like if I go back to the club room, it's going to be completely different people
right.
from people that I've seen like 2 years ago. So I don't know if that would make me sad to go
Club
back.
room will probably be all types of different, you know what I mean, because of the COVID restrictions. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that is true. I wonder what the situation would be like social distancing in the club room. Like
Right.
social distancing in the club room cannot happen.
We had yeah, that totally, we're already too always jam packed next to people sitting on floor. But we had President Wu, the new president of Baruch, who spoke at like event late April, and he was talking about like, oh, maybe it's possible to do a big event outdoors. You know the plaza that was that they took years to fix or
Is
Yeah.
it
renovate.
fixed?
Yeah. So now that the
Wow.
student is off campus, they take the opportunity to renovate it up. And President Wu was like, yeah, maybe you can plan an event outdoors. And I'm like, yo, UCLA gotta hop on that Moon Fest, and we gotta
Oh,
It's gonna be
demonstrate that we can
so
do it.
cold though.
yeah.
Man, get your blanket, Alex. We doing this outdoors. It's gonna be lit.
Wait, does it
We gotta
look
get
a lot nicer, the plaza?
Russell, I honestly can't tell you because I haven't been
Oh.
on campus since like March.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it was closed ever since like after my freshman year, I believe.
Yeah, just a mystery work construction site in the middle of a college campus.
Yeah, and it was kind of sad, so I hope it's a lot better now.
I feel like you guys can still have like multi-purpose room events. I know Broadway is opening up with like full capacity in
But I,
September.
I saw that and I'm like, oh no,
Oh, no.
oh no, honey. But
Yeah, it
multi-purpose room,
feels like
I
things are
don't know.
opening up too fast. I
Yeah,
feel that.
I don't know. But I just hope like people get the vaccine like during the summer, and yeah. just hope for the best from here. But don't jinx ourselves. We gotta behave now. Gotta behave now.
For real.
Oh, how's your side effects from the second vaccine going? Are you having any?
Well, the first one, I was talking big, big, big talk for my first dose, and third day I was crippled in my bed. I was so sore. But now I thought I wouldn't feel anything. I'm kind of sore and tired, bro. After this podcast, y'all viewers, Simon's taking a fat nappy. Yeah, I'm not waking up. But yeah, thank you for asking, Alex.
I didn't feel anything from the second. Like, I was so surprised because I think the second is like the one where everyone like, goes to sleep, has a fever, has all those side effects. But I just like woke up the next morning. I was like, I don't feel anything.
What about you, Judy?
Oh, no side effects. Yeah.
Wow.
But y'all know that thing on TikTok, right?
Yes.
I did that for my first dose and I got even more sore afterwards. Like I think it circulated it and I got sore.
Whoa, wait, I'm sorry, what? What is this thing?
Like
We have to demonstrate it for him.
Oh, me? You go like
Alex, if you do it, we'll do it. Come on now.
What is it?
everyone together.
Russell, you gotta do it too.
You just like whirling your arms around?
You gotta spin your arms around like a helicopter.
That's how you get the vaccine to go like transport through the rest of your body.
That's the reason.
Yeah. Actually, for my first shot, I did it, but I did it like all day. And that was such a big mistake.
I can't.
Like,
I don't know.
Time I wasn't doing something, I was just swinging my arm. And that was
Helicopter girl, come here.
the stupidest mistake ever because the next day my arm wasn't sore, but my shoulder was. It was hitting that shoulder.
You played yourself. No.
It wasn't hurting from the vaccine. It was just sore because she was swinging it around.
I got a little shoulder workout. So I was like, man. So for my second vaccine, instead of doing the swing, I just stretched. It was good.
Like a Chinese grandma, just stretch.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of BS on TikTok, right? And I can't help but feel that's one of them.
It works. Well, it didn't work for me, but I'm saying like you have to move your arm because my mom, she fell asleep like after the vaccine and then like she couldn't lift her arm after that. Like it literally was just stuck. So I think you do have to move it. So like blood circulating. Not necessarily like swing it, but you have to move it.
You gotta circulate it. The worst thing you can do is take a nap because like if you sleep, it hits you right after. The soreness, it gets you. So don't sleep. My siblings did that. They both woke up stiff like a cardboard. Just they were walking like planks, bro.
Wait, hold up. So that's supposed to prevent all the side effects from the vaccine?
Yeah,
I love how Russell's still trying to figure out like how does the circulation of the arm affects it?
Not just the soreness, right? Because like
Okay.
Just to keep it circulating. So I don't even know if that's like.
I see. Okay. I thought you were trying to say.
You don't know the science behind it, Judy. Don't try to explain it, girl.
I try to reading the science.
Yeah, because I thought you were trying to say it removes all the side effects. And like after my second vaccine, even the first one, I was like feverish, so tired. The worst, my back. My back ached the whole day. My lower back. I had to like work in bed each of those days after the vaccine. And I don't think doing this would have prevented that.
Also, if you did this, all your like side effects would have been cured right away.
Yeah, all my problems would be gone.
No fever.
That was on you.
You'll get clear acne. Like your
suddenly
skin will be glowing.
Emotionally stable, like I said.
All from spinning of the arm.
Yeah, TikTok.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That spinning got me a little bit sore there. I mean, a little bit too violent, I think. I didn't even spin it for that long.
By the way, there was something I wanted to talk to you guys about. So Russell misses UCLA a lot, and you could tell through his Facebook cover photo. His Facebook cover photo is from April 2018, and I remind him every single year to change it, and he said he never will.
I'm very passionate about that photo, only because Alex nags me to change it, so might as well keep it.
You guys have a cover photo from April 2021. His cover photo is April 2018. And it's just like, here's our April events for UCLA.
It's nostalgia, you know what I mean? He has, it's like that old poster that you always love in the back of the wall? He has to keep it up. Come on now. It has a special place in his heart. Don't judge him, Alex.
Exactly.
He's going to have kids that go to UCLA. And then his
cover
photo is still going to be there.
I'll give them that cover photo. They could change theirs to that.
this was my cover photo when I was your age.
Back in them days.
See when when was my GIM? Haha. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You see, I'm just not very active on social media. Like I change my profile picture like every 2 or 3 years, you know.
And also Alex saying to change it plays a part of like not changing.
Not wanting to change it.
Exactly. Russell's
Yep.
a rebel up in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw you, Alex.
April 2019, I commented on his photo to change it. April 2020, I commented on his photo to change it. April 2021, I commented on his photo to change it, and still nothing.
Is that why it got bumped? I was like, why is this?
Yes, that is why it got
I
bumped.
was like, why are we looking at this now? Like, why are we looking at this now? Young Russell back in his heyday. What?
Back in
Alex
his
nagging
heyday. What's right now?
What do you mean was right now?
You said back in his heyday. So what about now? It's not
What do you mean?
Old. We can
Russell's
admit it.
Still,
old.
Old.
Russell's a boomer, but he's a.
Hey, now I'm like what 3 years older than you guys? How old are you guys?
Guess.
20.
20.
No?
You're
Wait, no,
19
you
up in
guys
the
are
street.
you guys are sophomores, so 19.
Yeah, we're 19 up in the street. No, I just
Oh,
turned 20.
really? I would have guessed 20 or 21, to be honest.
20. Both of us.
I know we
Okay.
look youthful, Russell. Come on now. Don't try to.
Wait, so turning 21 this year or next year?
Next year.
Next year. My birthday just like passed last month.
Oh, okay. Man, we are old.
Guess our age.
Well, we have Melina who's 26, so
That is
Okay.
true. Wait, Melina's actually older than me.
yeah. See?
Wait,
so,
how old is Melina?
What 26?
She's not 26.
Yeah, she is 26. You're gonna go message her.
I was so confused for a second. I was like, oh.
She'll
Yeah,
forever be
right?
26.
I
But
don't know what to
she's,
believe now.
she's old. She looks so youthful. Look like she's 16. God damn it, Melina.
Guess
We should
our
have her
age.
on a podcast. What did you say, Alex?
Guess our age.
23.
22.
23.
Why didn't you just say yes, girl?
Alright, how about my age?
71.
22.
35.
71.
You have a
90.
lot of back problems for your age, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's from the coding, man. It's very confusing.
Oh,
That's why
yeah,
he
the
has
bad
to support
posture.
himself on his knee, you know? The back isn't working. You gotta.
I saw you when you do this. I'm like, he definitely has. Just arches. But how old are you?
Just think of his age and then add 2 because he like refuses to add TikTok on his phone.
I have TikTok, but I never use it for anything. I only use it to watch Tina's videos and Kenny's videos. That's it.
No, I mean, like, I've had it on my phone. I've tried it, but it's just too time consuming. It's like too meaningless for me. And I guess maybe because I'm not watching the right videos, but
Yeah, Russell, if you go down cause like I always frown upon TikTok, but then like if you cater it to like what you're interested in, you can go
Mhm.
down a whole rabbit hole of like just scrolling for 2 hours. So Russell,
Yeah.
stay away from that demon. All right, don't listen to the female. Stay away from TikTok, okay?
Females.
I was
Female.
kidding. Not Judy. Judy's not on that social media, but Alex just try to advertise people for that.
I
that
love
line.
TikTok.
My God.
No. Do you make TikTok, Alex?
No, I don't make TikToks. I don't do that.
No, she don't do none of that. She ain't doing none of that. But
No.
you just watch and scroll.
Yeah, I feel like people on TikTok are so creative. So I love scrolling
Yeah.
through it.
How are they making these videos? You know, when they're like doing the transition, like have you seen that videos like the videos all transitioning and it's like, oh, background is like if you're looking from outside, it looks really stupid because in reality they're just doing this.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but you gotta send it to me later.
But it's just people are godlike. What I'm trying to say is people are godlike with transitions and creating content now.
Hmm.
You can be 12 years old making content with TikTok.
That
And
is
I'm like,
true.
how do you do that? How are you that creative? I can't even film myself saying 2 lines without messing up. How do you do that?
Are people able to make a living off of like just TikTok if they're popular enough?
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of, especially during the quarantine, a lot of businesses, they can't start a business, a lot of startup. So they are like content creators who make really quick videos of like, what one that I just saw was like a person who got rejected from a bartending job. Not rejected, but couldn't apply for a bartending job because of COVID. So he started making drinks online and it got so popular that he started his own cocktail kit and stuff like that. And he teaches people how to make cocktails and stuff. I don't drink, guys, but yeah. Yeah, you definitely can start a business there. And I kind of feel like the future is kind of leaning towards that marketing as well, with it started like TikTok is a funny it's not just a app to see funny dance videos on anymore. Like you can dead ass put a lot of that was New York right there. A lot of like advertisement and products and whatever on there. So I definitely feel like people can utilize that. Want to close it out?
Thank you guys for joining us. We talked about a lot. I don't know. We're talking about TikTok, but I think that's all the time we have for today. We should say bye.
Russell, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't download. Don't do TikTok. Don't.
Well, I'll stay
Don't
very
give in,
far
alright?
away. Don't worry.
But yeah, thank you, Russell, Alex, for
Thanks for
talking to
having
us.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Hope
Okay,
to see you guys again.
bye.
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 Oh, the-
Bye.